Drinking with Authors may contain adult content. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Drinking with Authors. I'm your host, as always, Nick Savage. And this episode, as all episodes, are brought to you by Four Horsemen Publications. So please give them some love and check them out at fourhorsemenpublications.com. Otherwise, I don't get to do this. That being said, tonight, also the reason we get to do this, I have with us, joining us, J.C. Brown, author of such works as Breaking the Curse and many, many other things I can't remember offhand, so we're just going to concentrate on that one right now. But I want to welcome you, JC, to the show.
It's wonderful to be here.
Thank you. So I get a little bit of time to research my guests, and in researching you and Breaking the Curse, it is about a woman stranded at sea, and she's afraid of the sea. So it's kind of a bad situation for her, and she's ready to give up until a golden god swims up to the surface, but he can't talk. So using, and I quote, only his knowledge of female anatomy and body language, he has to save her, which just screams steamy and spicy. So tell us about this.
Okay, so Breaking the Curse is a mashup of my two favorite Disney movies. It's Beauty and the Beast and The Little Mermaid. So
okay, Beauty and the Beast. Okay.
And The Little Mermaid. So
yeah.
Argo he's not a mermaid per se. He's more like Ursula.
Okay.
So he's like from the waist up, he looks like a Greek god, but like from the waist down, he's all tentacles.
That just opens up for so many subgenres in the spice category. He's all tender, but he can't talk.
No, so he can't talk, and his birth name is Angelo. When he tries to write it in the sand, it comes out as Argo because he can't. Like, part of his curse is that he can't communicate with these women or with anybody, actually. So they have to fall in love with him and break his curse without him being able to use his silver tongue because he was so charming when he was a man.
Okay, so it was, instead of like in Beauty and the Beast, instead of being the asshole he was and then being cursed, he was so charming that it was almost too much. He gets cursed by someone for whatever reason.
Well, he's definitely an asshole.
Oh, so, he is an asshole. Okay.
Yes, that's partly why he gets cursed. So, like I said, I twisted the fairy tale. So in Argo's backstory, you find out that he fell in love. The sea witch fell in love with him, and when he found out that she was a sea witch, he did not want no part of it. And she's like, "Well, now you're going to be cursed."
And this, all right, so I have to ask, the main character is an artist who's afraid of the sea, but she's stranded and lost at sea.
Yes.
Without spoilers, can we get into that or no?
We can, because it's in the first chapter, you find out why she's at sea. It's basically, she is a very good artist, and her agent put this whole thing together for her because she's getting an award from the town. And the agent was like, wouldn't it be so cool to do this on like a big fancy yacht? And she drinks a little bit too much and falls overboard because she can't handle being on the yacht. And there's some other factors that fall into that category as well, where she ends up falling overboard.
And then gets rescued by this guy, but he can't communicate with the ladies. They must fall in love with him for his personality alone, not his speech. Oh, these poor women. I'm not one to hate men, but I'm just saying that personality alone is never enough. So, but in this case, it has to be.
Use his body language.
Yes. No, yes, exactly. His body language and his many, many tentacles.
Yes.
and it's been getting good reviews. You have like 99, 98, 100 ratings on it, and it's sitting right up at 4 something stars, and that's a pretty solid star rating to have. But this isn't your first book. Anyone
No,
who's Goodreads, you have many books before this one.
Yes, when I first started publishing, I published in anthologies because I was terrified to publish all by myself. So I published in a whole bunch of anthologies, and then I met my now bestie. Her name is Lena Lane, and we started writing a series on the 7 Deadly Sins together. So my first published book was with her, and it was Asmodeus, the Gift of Lust.
Okay.
And
I
then
know there's, oh, sorry, go on. My bad.
sorry. Breaking the Curse was the first book I published by myself.
By yourself. Okay. So even Leviathan, The Gift of Envy, and the other one, which I can't remember offhand, those are you and her together.
Yes, we have at least, like, I want to say almost 10 books together.
So what made you want to branch off and write on your own?
Well, I mean, I have like a whole bunch of stories and stuff that I like myself, and Lena she's not as adventurous as I am. So she would not co-sign on my octopus man.
No, I can understand that when you want to write a certain level of spice or steam or whatever, and someone else is not quite there, it can kind of ruin the story, the mood, the vibe. So you're just like, I'm going to do this. And I'm assuming, though, that you always wanted to get to a point where you were comfortable enough to write on your own, and you are there. But how do you writing with a partner versus writing by yourself? How do they compare?
Well, the only partner I've ever written with really is Lena. And I have to say, she is a wonderful human being and I love her to death, but we have 2 very different styles of writing. I plot out the entire book from page 1 to the last page. That's how I write. She does not. She sits down and she just writes, and wherever it takes you, it takes you. So when we write together, we have to compromise a lot. And it's wonderful because it makes, like, we joke all the time that we have one brain cell and it bounces back and forth between us. So when we write, we literally write both characters together with what I call a skeleton outline, which basically says, like, these are the main things that need to happen in the story to progress it. However we get there, like, she can take creative freedom. And sometimes she'll call me and be like, I did a thing and I need you to fix it. So I'll have to go in there and figure out, like, what to do. Like, one time she's like, hey, our main character, I killed her.
You can't do that. Yeah, you can't.
What do we do now?
Yeah, that's when you got to go back and work on the edits and the rewrites and stuff. I forgot to ask, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking what I call peasant coffee. I usually drink coffee with creamer, but today my child decided that he wanted some creamer in his coffee, so there was none left for me. So I'm just drinking it with milk.
Oh, milk is good though. I like milk and coffee.
I don't like the taste of coffee.
Oh, you just need the caffeine, so you need your. Yeah, no, I understand that. My wife cross-stitched a whole coffee chart of what the different drinks are, and then she has like the coffee cup and the ratios of, like, here's coffee, here's cream, here's coffee, here's cream. You know what I'm saying? Type stuff.
Yeah.
So it's you get to see what the ratios are before you order it, because lattes are mainly creamer anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's like a shot or 2 of espresso and then a bunch of creamer and flavors if you have flavor in there, and then you might like a cafe au lait, which is mainly steamed milk or something like that, and then like a little bit of coffee. But you
I'll have to try that.
Yeah. You can get them anywhere, but New Orleans is, where you want to go. But you're in Rhode Island, so that's a bit of a drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go there, though.
Oh, it is wonderful. If you've never been to New Orleans, I highly recommend it. Whether a vacation with family, you and the husband, and have the kids watch themselves, depending on how old they are and how Gen X you feel. And yeah, no, it is absolutely beautiful, beautiful area. Just don't go during hurricane season; you'll be fine. But yeah, so you started, and Breaking the Curse is your first solo book. No
Yes.
anthology, no writing partner, no this.
Correct.
And you, one of your personas just had a book release on the 9th.
Yes. That is my contemporary romance pen name, Nina Brown.
And is that also a solo book?
Yes, that is also a solo book. I have 2 books out by Nina Brown so far, and they're both solo contemporary books.
Breaking the Curse, though, is J.C. Brown.
Yes. So
okay,
J.C.
making sure I get my stuff right. Yes.
All paranormal, monster romance, romantasy, anything that's not normal would be under J.C. Brown.
And then just your modern, contemporary world set, like real world set stuff is.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Can you tell us about the one that came out?
Absolutely. Mr. St. James is part of a multi-author series. They're not so much connected other than the series name, which is the CEOs of Kink.
Okay.
So this one's a pretty spicy one. Basically, Mr. St. James is a pretty reserved person. He is kind of nerdy and keeps to himself. He's a workaholic, and how he releases his steam is that he is part of a very exclusive, I don't know how much I can say, but it's like a schmex club.
Okay, yeah, no, you can talk. This is
Okay.
not family friendly show. This is not a family friendly show.
So yeah, he's part of an underground sex club where they have to have complete anonymity. So everybody in the club has to have a mask on, and they all have altars. So you can be completely uninhibited within this sex club and not have to worry about something getting leaked out. So obviously there are probably like mayors and politicians and people there that are don't want this to come out. Yeah. So it's a very exclusive club. He finds that his very attractive secretary has the token for this very exclusive club when her purse falls over. And his brain pretty much short circuits. He's like, I need to know who she is within this setting. So he has to go on the journey to find out who she is. And when they finally find out who each other is, they have an office romance.
I'm assuming the office romance either starts or ends with a bang, pun intended.
Yes, it does. The main focus of Mr. St. James is shibari. So within the club, he is known as the Weaver. And many people are like getting in line to be his rope bottoms, but he just wants her. Like he wants oh my goodness, Catalina.
It happens to all of us. We're like, what's that character's name? So it's a multi-author series, but you wrote this entry into the series yourself. It's not like the other authors had a thing. Is it a one and done then for you, or do you get to contribute more than one if you want?
If I wanted to, I could have, but I just picked the one for the time being. So like with J.C. Brown, when I first started, I did anthologies.
Yes.
With Nina Brown, I'm starting out doing a multi-author series just to try to get the name Nina Brown out there. So I feel like if it's part of a series with other contemporary romance authors, I might get some readers that are doing the read through of the series.
Yes. Okay. And now, coming out on the 25th of July,
Yes.
you have one that sounds just as spicy, maybe. Faking the Heat, Firehouse 99.
Yes. Once again, it's part of another multi-author series. This one is a shared world. So my character works in the firehouse, and all the other characters in the firehouse will have their own book within the series. So we have some crossover characters in all the books.
Okay.
So we work together.
So here's my question for you, because you have the casual readers who just want to read for the funsies of it. You have the more serious readers who want things to have the continuity, and of course you have the readers who just want the sex. If you're writing characters that cross over from within the world and other authors are writing them, how close are you trying to make these characters sound and act versus the way other authors in the series are writing them?
Well, I can't speak for the other authors, but I can say when I'm writing Faking the Heat, anytime that my character is in the firehouse and wants to interact with another character, we have like a group chat, and I'll put in the chat like, hey, I'm writing this scene where Sterling is working out and he needs to talk to somebody about his love life or something.
Yeah.
And somebody will chime in and be like, hey, I think our character's on the same shift. We can talk it out. And then I'll write the scene and send it to that author. And the author will look at it and be like, okay, that sounds like my character. Or they'll change the dialogue, to sound a little bit more like their character.
That's actually wonderful to have that, because then you get the continuity and consistency, I should say consistency and character voice from book to book and stuff, which is a wonderful thing. Yeah.
Yep. And it's great because like you can have, like you said, the ones that want the whole series and read through the whole series, or they can just cherry pick they can pick up Faking the Heat and read it and be done. And like those characters are just characters in that book, or they can pick up another book and maybe see those characters in another book too.
I am assuming you said earlier that this was your intro to Nina Brown, so you are doing the multi-author kind of works first. I'm assuming much like with your more established name, you want to do solo stuff that is contained within yourself in your own
Correct.
worlds instead of shared worlds as well. I find anthologies harder than writing standalones, and it's not because of the other authors in it, but because of the word count being so much shorter. I don't know how do you feel about that? Like, do you feel more restrained and confined when it's a shorter word count versus longer, or do you find it easier?
I find it difficult for the ones that are shorter word counts. Luckily, I was able to find anthologies that were ebook only for many of them. So the word count didn't really matter. So like the minimum word count was like 10,000, but you could go up to 40,000 words if you needed to. So you could write it a whole book and put it in there pretty much.
And just be part of the anthology.
Yes.
So here's a question for you then, because you're eventually the copyrights or their publishing licensing rights will run out on those. Do you plan on just taking all the works you've submitted to anthologies and making a kind of compendium of your own, like your own anthology?
That's a really good idea, but no, because it would just be too many books. So I'm a cover whore. So I basically collect covers, like book covers. So I have a whole folder of book covers that I've collected over the years, and they all have stories to go with them. I just haven't written them or published them yet.
So
So
you're gonna
when I
let,
did,
yeah.
yeah, so when I did the anthologies, those stories already had covers to go with them. So in between, like, I finished Mr. St. James. I'm finishing up Firehouse 99 now. I'm working on the edits. And in between, like, if I need a break from Firehouse 99, I will go into like one of my older books and do some work, do some tweaking, maybe rework some of the scenes and add to it. And eventually that'll come out on its own.
Nice. Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to just let things you wrote lie where they were instead of trying to, you know what I'm saying, like recompendium them all and push them out again and stuff, because you grow as a writer, so you want to push out your newer works. But I like the way that you're like, ooh, that's a good idea, but no. Thank you. I'm glad I can have a good idea once in a while, you know? So you have the one book that came out, Firehouse 99, coming out on July 25th. What do you have in the works?
After Firehouse 99, I'm currently working on Leviathan with Lena Lane. We're in our edit stage right now. So the book is done. We're just going through it and polishing it. And then I'll be working on another shared world, but this one's for J.C. Brown. It is called Backstage Beasts, and my book is called Stonehearts. It's basically monster rock band.
Monster rock bands.
Yep. Four-member monster rock band is finally going on tour, and we're gonna get perspectives from all four bandmates.
Is the drummer inspired by the Muppet Babies animal?
I would love to say so,
A
but no.
grown-up version of it.
No.
Very grown-up version of it. He is not.
I believe the drummer is an octopus. He is the same species as Argo from Breaking the Curse.
I can dig that, because that would, if drummers had 8 arms or even 4 arms, it would make drumming far more intricate and amazing.
Right?
So here's a question for you, a little bit of digging into your world knowledge, and it might be something you haven't thought about. Argo has a human head, but he has an octopus bottom.
Well, from the waist down, he's an octopus.
Yeah. From the waist down, he's an octopus, but he has a human brain. Basically, yes. It's up in its human head. Mm-hmm. He's got a human waist down. Octopods, however you want to say it, can control each of their limbs independently.
Correct.
Does Argo have the ability to do that?
Yes.
Okay. So he has more of an octopus-style brain.
Yes. So while he is, because he's not completely human anymore, since he was transformed by this curse, he is now a completely other species. And he can control his 8 tentacles, his 2 arms independently. Yeah. He also has 2 penises. And one of them, he can also control that one independently, like a tentacle also.
Are they, okay, now, anatomy lesson for everyone here. 2 penises. Are the peni next to each other or like stacked?
They're stacked.
They're stacked.
Yep.
So you get a little bit of a shocker action when.
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay. Hey, if we're talking about penis, it's sexy time up in here. So I just have to ask.
I mean, I write spicy romance, so.
Okay, so wait a second though. 1 scrotum or 2?
1, but you don't see it. It's not on the outside, unless he's
in human form. Okay, so wait, are they monster cocks?
Yes.
Are they human penises?
Oh no, they're definitely like the top one is independent, like a tentacle, but not actually a tentacle.
Not actually, it's just like a short
Yeah, it is. It's like a shark. And you know what? I was thinking about it because the funny thing is, like, people, when I do panels at events and stuff, this always comes up because I have like the weirdest animal knowledge of animal penises in the world. Like, because I
Well,
write shifter romance and like monsters and stuff, I like to see like how do they reproduce, so I can see if I can use that in my book. So the octopus has his penis is in one of their legs, one of their tentacles.
just a random tentacle, or is it always the same
Well,
tentacle in every octopus?
it's the same tentacle in every octopus. Like it's their
Okay.
sex organ tentacle. Like it can be used for
Okay.
other things, but that's how they reproduce. And some octopuses actually, they rip off that tentacle and just throw it at the girl and then run away, which is like the ultimate, like, go fuck yourself. Like,
Does it grow back?
yes, it grows back.
Okay. So I'm just imagining an angry octopus who's like, I'm not in the mood, ripping off his junk, tossing it at the female octopus and just going, later, use it yourself. Like,
Yep.
wait, can't she? It's not usable at that point, is it?
Oh no, it is.
Like, there's no
that's how,
octopus.
Yep, that's how they
So
reproduce.
he could rip it off. She could just basically just fuck herself with it and still get pregnant, even though it's not attached to him.
I view it kind of like a bee stinger.
I'm so I'm just imagining this octopus society where the men are just not in the mood and the women are just like, just stand it to me, and they do, because it is so strange. Oh, well, that just fell off. Sorry, my windscreen fell off as I was shaking my head at the octopus reproduction. So you write shit. Do you ever write wolves?
I do.
Okay, so I have a question for you. When a wolf goes from human to wolf form, so does their dong, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that is not something a human female would want to, even in the world of romance, kind of tangle themselves up with, right? Because isn't that the one that corkscrews?
No, that's actually a pig.
A pig. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking, okay.
No.
Why I know what a pig penis looks like is beyond me, but yeah, okay.
So wolves typically they have like a knot that kind of locks everything into place. So depending on the kind of story and whoever's writing it, depends on how that knotting works.
That not nodding, like it's can you explain
You're learning
that
all kinds of new things today.
Yeah, no, I need to understand this nodding thing. Like, it's not just like a giant, like, barbed head, like a normal. It just kind of. It's just like, here's a lump.
Yeah, pretty much. Like towards the base, there would be like an enlarged lump, and in some stories, like after they're penetrated, the lump will swell up and basically lock them into place because it's for like reproduction, so nothing like leaks out. Whereas like other times you can say, like other stories, there's like the knot will appear if they find their mate or various other reasons.
Interesting. So they have lore. Some authors work lore of the knot into the storyline, so they know they found their mate because they get a little funny feeling down there. Okay.
Yes.
It's very interesting stuff. Sorry, I am not laughing at the genre or anything. It's just a genre I don't read, I don't write, so it's a very interesting things to learn about sometimes when you're doing that. So okay, so I'm assuming you've written then about werewolves, and wolf shifters and stuff. You've written about octopus shifters. Any other shifters that are in your repertoire?
I've written a snake, and I've written a shark and a mermaid and a selkie.
Okay, I know what a selkie is, but for those who haven't delved deep into mythology or played Dungeons and Dragons, can you explain that for our listeners?
Absolutely. So a selkie is basically a shifter, but their main form is a seal. And when they want to come to land, they can basically step out of their seal skin. But the catch with that is that they have to hide their seal skin so nobody else finds it. Because if somebody else finds it, then they'll have power over the selkie. So if they want to be a seal again, they have to go back into their skin and jump into the ocean.
So if you hear that, if anyone's at a beach and you just find a seal skin, no bones, no blood, just skin, grab it. You'll
Yep.
have a weird encounter with someone or
Mhm.
something. Okay.
They're usually pretty hot too.
They're usually pretty well. It would only tend because nobody wants to. And I'm not saying that. I'm stories of grotesquely ugly people or ugly things having sex with each other is not as sellable as hot things having sex with each other.
You clearly haven't read Monster Romance.
Well, but at some point they're going to be sexy to someone. I mean, but that's the thing is everyone's sexy to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's enough on the internet to know that everyone finds something sexy or attractive, no matter how other people may find it.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have some books and editing, books on the horizon. I have to ask you something because I've been eyeing something for the past half an hour now, and I have to ask for anyone not watching. Behind her on her left side, if you're only listening, she has a terrarium.
Yeah.
She has some sort of reptile.
Yes.
What do you got?
I have a leopard gecko. His name is Smog, like the dragon, because I'm a nerd.
Ain't nothing wrong with naming a reptile Smog because dragons are reptiles by nature.
Yes, and he is just as ornery as Smog.
I don't see a pile of gold though in there.
No, you don't, because he won't let me put anything in there other than what's in there. He doesn't even want me to put my hand in there to feed him. He gets very angry.
He's very angry. Could he want I don't know how reptiles like social animals? Like could another reptile help make him less angry, or would that just be a fight to the death?
Leopard geckos typically don't share cages unless they'd have to be very big because they're territorial. So yeah, he definitely would not get along with another gecko.
So if it's a territorial thing, then that's why he doesn't want your hand in there. He's like, this is my cage.
Yeah.
Does he ever come out and wander the house or no?
Yep, he comes out at nighttime. He'll come out. Like he should be out soon. He's in this little golden hut right there. You can't see it, but it's that little thing right here.
Yeah.
It's gold and it's like a little hut, and that's where he sleeps. Like he crams his whole body into there. On the other side, I have bigger places for him to sleep, but he only wants to sleep in the little hut. So
it's okay. We have giant cats who have very tiny cat towers, and that's where they want to sleep is in the tiny cat towers where they have to like scrunch in and contort themselves. I think it's an animal thing for like comfort,
Maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of they feel protected if they're scrunched up. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I am not an animal. I'm not an animal psychologist. It's the logical step to that. But no, I had to ask because I saw that and I was like, I love animals. I was at IKEA yesterday, and as we're walking, there's just this cart sitting there, and no one was near the cart, but in the cart was a tiny dog that couldn't have weighed more than like 3 pounds.
Oh.
There's just tiny dog sitting in a little purse, and as I'm like, oh, there's a dog, the family came out and was like, oh, pet it. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pet it. So it was.
I have 2 dogs too.
What kind of dogs?
I have a Yorkie Chihuahua mix. His name is Morty because when we first got him, all he did was shake. So he was like Morty from Rick and Morty. And we have a She's a pit bull Australian Shepherd mix, and her name is Evie, like the Pokemon.
I was gonna say like the Pokemon. A pit bull Australian Shepherd mix sounds like a very interesting looking dog.
Yeah, I mean, like she looks like a pit bull, but she has like the brindle spots and then little spots. If you didn't know what an Australian Shepherd looked like, you might think she might be part Dalmatian, but she's not.
Okay. I was thinking of the wrong kind of shepherd dog. Yes, I know. I now know what Australian shepherds look like now that you said that, because I have seen them and I said they're Dalmatians and they were like, no, they're not. And I was like, oh, well, I don't know anything about dogs either. I've only ever had one dog, and it was a Shih Tzu Apsu mix, and it was decades ago. So I'm just like, now I have cats. I love my cats, and I'm having horrible allergies right now. Sorry about that, but I had to ask about the reptiles. Animals are always a fun topic to bring up on the show. And while it's on my mind, if you have a Home Goods near you and you like your coffee, or you want better tasting coffee to go with your creamer, I should say, their coffee section always has real high-end coffees for about half the price.
Oh,
just throwing
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. It's also where we buy most of our flavored syrups from, because they have the 0-calorie Mateo syrups there that are absolutely wonderful. Yes. Anytime we find a bottle of the toasted marshmallow, we have to grab it.
That's the best one.
Yes, it is the best one, and it's the most expensive one on the Mateo site. So we always have to grab it and put it. We only have like 1 or 2 in the pantry right now, which is fine because we're almost out of the one that's open. But we have like 8 bottles, and I love it. But back to the topic before I derail myself too much thinking about coffee. On the topic of reading, my segues are wonderful. Are you reading anything right now?
I am, actually. I am reading Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, that's a relatively new book. Came out a couple years ago.
Yep.
Yeah. For anyone who didn't know that was a joke, please read more. Pride and Prejudice. How are you? Is it your first time reading it?
It is my first time reading it. I had never read it before, but I have a friend who writes historical romance, and I had an idea for another book series, and I needed to brush up on what historical romance was. So what better way to get started than the most popular historical romance book ever?
How are you finding it?
It's really interesting, I'll say. I've never, this is the first time I'm reading a actual historical romance with regular people. Like anything else I've ever read that has historical aspects was always something paranormal.
Yeah. And this is just kind of
these are just like regular people.
But are you enjoying it? Because interesting doesn't necessarily mean you're enjoying it. So
I actually am enjoying it, because I think I'm enjoying it more because as I'm reading it, I'm like texting my friends about it who have already read it with all of my crazy, like, what the hell is he doing with this? And like, he's total dreck. Why do people like him? And
No. I understand. There are people. Jane Austen is either someone you love or you're just like, like it's not necessarily love or hate. There's the whole gamut, but like I know people who've like tried reading it and they're like, oh, I'm going to read Jane Austen. They're just like, I could not get into it. So it's nice to see that you're actually enjoying it. I like Virginia Woolf if I'm going with my old writers like that. Virginia Woolf and Dalton Trumbo and like all the older writers like that I love, but I don't know. Dalton Trumbo is a deep cut for some people, so I don't ever bring him up for like, questionnaires like that. But you're okay. So you're reading it though, and you're reading it for research for a series you're going to write.
Yes.
Any insight into that, or is that top secret right now?
Well, it's going to be paranormal, and it's going to be a portal romance. So it'll be like Regency era England, but in another world.
Okay. And Portal Romance is something I've also never read, but it sounds very interesting. I was talking with an author about that, and it sounds like a very interesting concept to not only read, but to also write. So that should be fun for you. She froze. We're going to wait for her to come back.
Oh, no.
She's back. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. You're moving again. Yeah, you were frozen for a second. I wasn't hearing it, but you're there now. So, okay, I have to ask because people want to know, you have a lot of books available and a lot of books coming out. Where can people follow you and keep in touch and keep up to date on all your releases and your current happenings and everything like that?
Well, the best way to do that is to join my newsletter. But if you're not up for newsletters, I'm most active on Instagram. So you can just find me at author JC Brown on Instagram or anywhere else, really, like author JC Brown.
Even Facebook, we found out where it showed me the other thing first, and then it was you. Yeah, once we got that sorted out. And where can they buy your books?
They can buy my books on Amazon. They can buy my books on Kobo or Barnes & Noble, pretty much anywhere. The newest one right now is in Kindle Unlimited for one term. So 90 days, if you have Kindle Unlimited and you want to read Mr. St. James, go for it. After 90 days, it comes out of Kindle Unlimited and it goes everywhere. I also just set up a site where you can buy paperback and ebook directly from me through my website.
Very nice. And your website is?
www.authorjcbrown.com.
Simple enough. It's nice to know that people keep things simple sometimes. Just authorjcbrown.com. I like it. So if you had to give one piece of writing advice to an aspiring writer, what would that be?
My one piece of writing advice would just be like to get the words on the page. Don't go back and edit while you're writing. Don't go back and be like, oh, well, this could sound better. Don't look in the thesaurus for another word. Just get the whole thing down. It's going to be trash. Just resign yourself to know that it's going to be trash. Your first draft is trash. It's trash for everybody. It's trash for Stephen King. It was probably trash for everybody who's ever written a book in their whole life. Their first draft is always going to be trash. So you get the idea on the paper, and then you can go back and fix it up and make it pretty and do all the things to it. But you can't edit a blank page. So
you heard it here, folks. Right? It's going to suck, but you can go back and make it not suck.
That's right.
And that is wonderful. I want to thank you, JC Brown, for joining us today. It has been a pleasure. Oh my God, thank you. It has been an absolute pleasure talking with you. I have learned so much about genitals today. That is something I never thought I would say with that much enthusiasm. For everyone listening, I hope you learned as much about animal genitalia as I have today. I can't even get through that. Go follow her on all the social medias. Pick up a good book to read. And if nothing else, you're going to learn even more about genitals of some sorts. But until next time, remember, it costs nothing to be kind. Follow Drinking with Authors. Follow me. Follow her. Follow everyone. Share it all. Make us famous. And I will see you all next time. JC.
Thank you for listening to Drinking with Authors. Join us next time for another fun conversation with an author over drinks.